Fragrance is a non-essential item, and no matter what your situation might be, it is never a good idea to spend money on a non-essential item when it could better be allocated elsewhere. And with that in mind, I have curated a selection of approximately 5 fragrances that are super affordable and all under the $50 mark. These are perfumes that I love and recommend. And honestly, looking at these fragrances, a lot of these are even under $30. So I'm not even sure what I'm going to name this video. I'm going to do a quick check online to see what these fragrances go for. But for this video specifically, I was inspired to look for fragrances that would commonly be found in places like Burlington, TJ Maxx, because there was a time in my life where I would shop at those stores and look for my fragrances because I was just not in a place where it was realistic for me to spend money on designer fragrances or even niche fragrances. That was totally out of the realm of reality for me. And even though we have Middle Eastern fragrances and Middle Eastern fragrances can get really affordable, I still want to show you some non-Middle Eastern options that are also really cost effective and budget friendly that can be found in, stores like I just mentioned. And I will say I will have some bonus Middle Eastern options at the end, but for this video we're going to focus majority on budget friendly fragrances that you can find virtually anywhere. If this is your first time watching this channel, hello, my name is Anya. I love fragrances. I talk about them here every single weekday, Monday through Friday. I also publish additional content on TikTok and Instagram under the username ANECHKAFRAGRANCES. And if you're interested in fragrance history, I have a podcast called The Fragrance Report. This podcast focuses primarily on different anecdotes of fragrance history throughout the ages, and I also publish that podcast episode, or publish each episode of the podcast on Spotify and YouTube every Wednesday as well. So if you're interested, definitely do consider following the podcast. And if you're like me and you happen to be quite budget conscious, you want to have a good idea of what's in your collection, you want to budget accordingly, and you want to have an idea as to how many samples, decants, full bottles you might have, I have just a solution for you. It's a fragrance collection log and expense tracker. It's available for you to download in my Stan store. It's a spreadsheet. It's super easy to use, and I absolutely love that as a resource for really tracking not only how much you're spending, but also what's in your collection as well. With that being said, let's get into this video. I will say these are budget-friendly fragrances for a niche nose. And I say that because I absolutely love niche fragrances. I am very lucky to have a large collection of niche perfumes in my back pocket now, but that wasn't always the case. And I still have fragrances from like that time in my life where I wasn't buying niche at all. But out of those fragrances, only a small number of those perfumes are still regularly used by me today. And that's what I wanted to show you in this video, because no matter what your budget might be, no matter what your preferences are, these are going to be excellent options for you to try out. First up is a fragrance that I loved so much, I got a backup of it, and this is an amazing perfume. You might have already heard about it. It's Banana Republic's Dark Cherry and Amber. If you're looking for a joyful cherry fragrance with freesia, with cherry blossom, as well as that ambery undertone, this is absolutely a fragrance to check out. I love this perfume because it's bright, it's fruity, it's zesty, but there's also something about it that makes it quite timeless. Even though I really loved wearing it a few years ago, I still love wearing it today because something about this fragrance makes me feel happy. This makes me think of like first love. It makes me think of having these like all these happy feelings, and I'll often just spray on this fragrance nonchalantly and wear it out. It's an amazing fragrance to wear around this time of year as well, because it's not like a syrupy, it's not a syrupy, intense cherry. It's like a lighter cherry with like these like beautiful florals as well. It's a stunning fragrance. If you're looking for a fruity, delicious cherry perfume that's just happy, that's just fun, this is gorgeous. And I will say the ambery undertone here is kind of similar to something that you'd get in Ariana Grande Cloud, for instance, like that praline ambery undertone. That also is an accord that runs through this fragrance as well, but then you have the added complexity with the cherry. This is the kind of fragrance that you can literally find at TJ Maxx or Burlington. I have seen this fragrance available there. I think I purchased a bottle there. I think I bought my backup bottle from Burlington. I think I bought this full bottle online. But yeah, this is one of the brands like Banana Republic. The bottles that look like this are available at TJ Maxx or Burlington. I have bought several of them. I have given them as gifts. I have bought them for myself, and I would say this is a really good line to pay attention to if you want something that's affordable and something that's still interesting, still good quality, well blended. They have many fragrances in this lineup, and I think they run between $20 to $25 at those stores specifically. But yeah, I love this fragrance. It's one of my favorite cherry perfumes, and it just smells happy. It smells positive. It's just a beautiful cherry fragrance. And you guys know how picky I am about cherries, but this is one of my absolute favorites. This next fragrance is also by Banana Republic. I love this perfume. It is still one of my favorite perfumes for the summertime specifically, even though I have so many other fragrances in my collection that are several times the price of this. I still consider this an excellent fragrance that I use personally regularly. And you can tell by the dent in this perfume, I use this fragrance a lot. This is Banana Republic's Vintage Green. And what's interesting about this is that this is a gorgeous, refreshing, crisp tea fragrance with fig. It actually has top notes of green leaves, bergamot, and mandarin orange amid a green tea, fig, jasmine, and magnolia, and then a base of vetiver, musk, and cedar. This smells like a luxurious spa with like this like very bright, zesty citrus with like a little bit of like dried tea leaves and then that milky fig. Even though I would say the greenness of this fragrance really is center stage, this is perfect. Like I would wear this as a hair perfume. I would wear this like everywhere because it's one of those fragrances that's just really easy. It's easy, it's refreshing, it works with everything. And I just consider this one of my top fragrances in my collection. It is absolutely stunning. So this and Dark Cherry and Amber both are excellent. If we're comparing the dents, I think I've used Dark Cherry and Amber a little bit more, but I've also had it for a longer period. But Vintage Green is also an excellent option. There's really no way you can go wrong with this unless you absolutely hate green fragrances, but this is absolutely amazing. Okay, so this next one is actually a bit of an underdog in my collection. I bought this fragrance, I've had it in my collection, but I think something about this fragrance makes me not want to use it. And you might be thinking, why are you recommending it if you don't want us to use it? That's not the case. I actually do think it's an amazing fragrance. It's really gorgeous, but I think that sometimes I look at a bottle like this and I'm like, this can't be like that great. But then I spray it and I'm like, ooh, this is good. That's gorgeous. That is beautiful. Okay, that's beautiful. This is from Soli Notes, and this is called Thé Blanc, and I bought this off of Amazon, and I know it is definitely under $50. I think I got it for like $25, $30. This is excellent. It's beautiful, it's refreshing, it's zesty, and I promise I have like some deeper ambery fragrances coming up. It's not just going to be like refreshing citruses in this video, even though these are amazing citruses. This is just lovely. Literally on Amazon right now, it is $13. That is ridiculously affordable. Yeah, that's even more money than I spent on it. I spent more money on this, but this is has top notes of bergamot and cardamom, a mid of white tea and sage, and then a base of white musk and osmanthus. Stunning, beautiful. Yeah, this video is full of fragrances that I think like are under $30. I probably should rename this video if I'm being totally honest. But yeah, this is amazing. It's stunning. It's beautiful. It's like tea and sage. It's less citrusy than Vintage Green. This is like very citrusy and green. This is more focused on like the tea and sage aspects, but they're both quite similar. But I really like them both. Yeah, this is beautiful. It's stunning. So yeah, Thé Blanc by Soli Notes. This next fragrance is kind of funny because I always mention that this is kind of like when I was on TikTok, this was kind of like my rage bait fragrance. I would talk about this fragrance when I wanted to get more engagement because people love to hate on the person that launched this. And this is, of course, Kim Kardashian's Pure Honey. When I tell you, people would be fighting in the comments talking about how horrible this fragrance was, and then people will be like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing fragrance. And I consider this a really good fragrance. This is created by Claude Deer. And Claude Deer, he's known for his gourmands. He's a very successful and renowned nose in the industry. This particular fragrance has notes of freesia, mandarin blossom, and red rose at the top, amid of beeswax, honey, honeysuckle, and orchid, and then a base of coconut, vanilla, and musk. This is the kind of fragrance I would wear on a summer night out. It's a gorgeous... I love the honeysuckle here. It's a gorgeous, lightly ambery, spiced vanilla fragrance, but it's like very lightly spiced. It's not like too intense at all. It has like this beautiful, like kind of honey lotiony accord to it, which I absolutely love. Lightly touched honey with floral notes like honeysuckle, freesia. This is a stunning fragrance. It is so beautiful, and I think people love to hate on Kim Kardashian, but I mean, she was not the one that formulated this fragrance. Claude Deer was. And I think regardless of whether or not you like the Kardashians, this is a stunning perfume. And this is literally, this is one of the most affordable fragrances out right now. I think it can be like $13, $14, $15. And in the discount stores, it's definitely one of the more affordable options. So if you're looking for something that just smells beautiful, that smells sweet, but doesn't smell like too sickly sweet, this is gorgeous. Like, this is just the right touch of honey sweetness without appearing juvenile. So when you hear honey, don't think that it's going to be a sickly sweet fragrance. It is in fact a beautiful, balanced, lightly spicy, lightly ambery, sweet floral perfume with a touch of honey. It is absolutely stunning. Next up, I have a fragrance by Mixbar, and I don't really talk about Mixbar too much on this channel, but for those of you who don't know, they are a brand that primarily distributes in Target, so they're literally available in Target, so it's very accessible, and they are known to have fragrances meant for layering. So their fragrances are not going to be the most complex, they're not going to be the most like, you know, insanely intricate perfumes, but they're meant to be layered with their other fragrances and other fragrances you might have in your collection. So with that in mind, this is Tangerine Squeeze. It's an absolutely beautiful photorealistic mandarin citrus perfume. It smells like cuties tangerines. It smells gorgeous. Like, you know, those like cuties, like those like little like, you know, oranges that smell amazing when you like peel the skin off. That's what this smells like. It is so, like, it is incredibly photorealistic. So this fragrance essentially has notes of clementine, pink grapefruit, and sandalwood, honeysuckle, frangipani, and vetiver. So yeah, it just smells absolutely delicious. There's really no way to go wrong with it. It doesn't smell like screechy or sharp. It just smells like a photorealistic citrus scent. It's absolutely delicious. So I just showed you 5 fragrances that are non-Middle Eastern scents that are excellent options if you're looking to buy fragrances on a budget. Again, these fragrances are available in most stores around many of you, but I also want to kind of like, because this is a budget-friendly video, I also want to give you a bit of a taste into what you can get from the Middle Eastern category, okay? So I've talked about these fragrances before, and if you're looking for more options, I would definitely suggest going on my channel, clicking the search bar, and searching for Middle Eastern fragrances under $50, because I have made a few videos, and those fragrances are still fragrances I'd recommend. But I wanted to give you a bit of a taste into what's available if you want something that's affordable and you're interested in kind of trying out some Middle Eastern fragrances. This one is one of my #1 favorites, especially for the summertime. This is Taschkeen Marina by Paris Corner. Essentially, I believe this has notes of black currant, freesia, and grapefruit. I might be wrong. Let me look it up. Oh, okay, so this is black currant, lily of the valley, and grapefruit. So this essentially is a gorgeous, beautiful citrus fragrance with some depth to it, with some fruitiness to it. If you want to kind of understand what this smells like, picture the Chanel Chance line. This smells like, I think, one of those fragrances. It has the citrus is done in a similar way in my mind. I don't know if it's like meant to be a dupe or an alternative directly, but if I had to choose a designer fragrance to compare it to, I'd compare it to that line. This is beautiful. It's stunning. There's really no way to go wrong with it unless you absolutely hate citruses. Anyway, then I have some more options for you. I want to talk about these because I have a funny story attached to this line in general. So AlRahab launches these kind of fragrances. Like these are like going to be around $10 on Amazon. Like they're super inexpensive. And if you ever go to a like kind of mom and pop Middle Eastern store, you will probably find these on the shelves. Fragrances that look like these. They have many more. I just have these two. The ones I have are oudi, which is kind of like this, like, you know, it's like basically an oud interpretation of a fragrance. It just is a sweet, sugary oud. It's actually quite delicious. And then I have Rasha, which is like this ambery rose fragrance. It smells absolutely stunning. It kind of smells like Gucci Rush, and you can tell how much I love it based on the dent. I think both of these are great options. The funny story that I have attached to this is, so I was in Paris with some friends of mine, and they are both software developers, I believe. Basically, they make six figures. They're young. They make a lot of money. So they are always negging me when it comes to my fragrance preferences because I'm always someone that loves like niche fragrances. I love like the expensive things, and I try to recommend those fragrances to them. But every single time I try to recommend a fragrance that's like above the $100 mark, they always take me back to the time we were in Paris and they went to a Middle Eastern store and they tried this line of fragrances and they bought them, and they always say, oh, these fragrances are better than the other expensive fragrances you're recommending. So I always think that's hilarious, and while I might not necessarily agree with that sentiment, I will say if you're just looking for something that's budget friendly, affordable, you don't have to spend like an insane amount of money. Sometimes you just want something that smells good, and these smell really beautiful. I really like them. If you're looking for something woody, try oudi. If you're looking for something Gucci Rush, try Rasha, and there's so many other options as well. But I always find that story is a little bit fascinating. But that's it for this video. Let me know, have you tried any of these fragrances? Are you looking forward to testing any of them? Do you think you'll be keeping an eye out for these? Let me know your thoughts. And if you have recommendations for affordable scents, do listen to that down below so we can all share in that knowledge. But thank you so much for watching till the end, and I'll see you next time. Bye.